But let's go ahead and get into our first news story. This one is absolutely tragic and completely just took, I think, all of us back a bit when we woke up and we found out the news in Beirut on August 4th. The Lebanese capital, there was a huge explosion that occurred, and almost like a bombing, and the way that it looked, and it just was absolutely devastating. Leveled a whole area near their main seaport there, and 78 people ended up dying and thousands are injured. And I believe they're still looking for survivors now because it's just an absolute mess.
I'm sure the number's higher than that, I'd imagine, but it's so scary looking at the footage from it. We're not going to play it on here because I'm sure most of you have seen it, but it's just to see something like that happen in current time, that big of an explosion, and how it rippled through the buildings in such a populated area was just like, wow, that was crazy. And then there's so much misinformation going around at first. People said it was from a firework factory.
Which would make no sense,
yeah, I was
really.
like, what are they having the firework factory that could cause something like that? But we quickly found out that it was actually because there was 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate stored near the city's cargo port.
And because there was a fire burning in this area, it ended up reaching this area with all of that ammonium nitrate and just turned it into essentially like a huge bomb.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I mean, when you think about the magnitude of this explosion, I mean, for example, the Oklahoma City bombing was 2 tons of ammonium nitrate, and that completely decimated half of a building, a large skyscraper type building. So
just do the math on that. 2 tons versus 2,750.
That's insane. 500 tons of TNT is what the blast was equivalent to.
It's really hard to imagine what that type of force would feel like, or it would be like to be anywhere near that. I mean, I've never experienced anything, so I can't imagine, but just watching the videos of like windows breaking in cars and in apartments, how fast it just moved and rippled backwards. Sorry, it just kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, the footage that people were uploading to the internet on Twitter and everything, I'm sure many of you saw, is just crazy. I mean, I can't even imagine, like, people were just driving their cars down the highway and then had their phone just filming, you know, the explosion as it happened. And then all of a sudden you just see this like force of, I don't even know what you call it, debris, smoke, whatever it is, comes just booming towards them and just completely decimates their car. And I mean,
there was like a mushroom cloud almost. I mean, not a full on one, but almost.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like a large bomb had just gone off. And really I think my first thought was like something, you know, somebody bombed that area. Like,
I think a lot of people thought that.
There was an attack of some sort in the city. And I mean, they still haven't ruled that out yet. They're still looking to try to figure out what exactly, you know, happened, because ammonium nitrate like that doesn't just like go off. And it's very weird how it sort of all went down. And even the Lebanese prime minister is, they're holding like 20 people, I believe, on like house arrest, and they're still investigating it because they obviously are going to hold whoever, you know, just had, this is completely careless to have this much ammonium nitrate all sitting together, you know, in the seaport there. It wasn't being handled properly. So
near a ton of apartment buildings and restaurants.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
It's extremely dangerous. I mean, you got to take these chemicals really seriously because they're extremely flammable and explosive. So
it's possible someone purposely set it off?
Yeah, we still don't know. They're investigating it. I mean, it could have been an attack for all we know. They're actually checking out satellite images to see if there was actually any missiles in the air. I mean, if you think about it, it all happened so fast. And, you know, there was that fire burning, and then literally like a few seconds later, it just out of nowhere. Yeah. And it's weird because it really felt like it was some type of targeted thing because of just how, you know, the magnitude of everything exploding all happened at once versus like boom, 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 boom type of thing.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying, yeah.
But it was just like boom, like something actually hit this area and then just, you know, blasted. And I mean, I don't know for sure what happened, but we'll have to wait and see what they find out, because they're definitely investigating it, and I'm sure more will come out in time. But absolutely devastating. And obviously our thoughts are with all those that are dealing with the aftermath of this, and those that lost loved ones, or, you know, if you were wounded or injured in it, like definitely our thoughts and prayers are with you guys. Cause I couldn't even imagine that happening here. Like that'd just be.
Well, and Lebanon's really struggling as it is. And there's a lot of really poor people there. The wealth gap is extremely set. There's like no middle class now. There's so much poverty, and a lot of people, I mean, one thing that is huge is that they're not able to get grain now because their port has exploded. It causes tons of logistical issues. So they're going to have a lot of trouble rebuilding from this. And I do believe the U.S. is going to be helping. Trump said he was going to send aid to them, I think. I'm not sure if that's been official yet, but hopefully we do, because they're going to need the help. But if you're able to help, we will link a place to donate that is reputable. It's a disaster relief fund, and that will make sure it goes directly to the people of the city.
Yeah, absolutely. They can use all the help they can get, especially those that are wounded and, need surgeries and everything else
or their
from this.
living space is completely blown to smithereens.
Yeah, or they just need the essentials.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very, very sad. I mean, it's like 2020 has just been the craziest year on record,
exhausting.
I swear. It's like every week. Every week we have something major happen, in one way or another.
Yeah. It feels like every day.
Yeah, it really does. Like every day you go on Twitter and something's
There's
going
something.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.